Hello. You're on mute. It was my fault. There you go. Go
There.
ahead.
All right. So yeah. So yeah.
I just have to put you down as a co-host and you can go on and off as you want. There you go.
Okay. New notification. Okay. Whatever. So all right. Okay. Well, we'll see how this one goes and stuff. And that I'm expecting more participants and probably more lively discussion on Rule 6. But we'll see. So
Okay, well, I've already started everything, so we're good to go. Also, my email's in the or in the chat, which is saying, hey, if you want to be invited to the next meeting, please reach out to me here.
yep.
And I got YouTube up. So
Okay. Cool.
anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and mute and I'll talk to you here in just a bit.
Okay. Great. Thanks. Lucas, you're on mute, buddy.
There we go. How we doing?
Just fine. Thank you. So
Good.
so
Remind me again which rule we're starting with. You made it through 4 last time?
through 3. So we'll
Through
start on
3.
4.
We're starting on 4. Okay.
Yeah, and that so and that yeah and like I said, 4 or 5 and stuff I don't see a lot. I mean, a lot of it's the statutory changes and stuff and straight out forward, so it'll be more of the meat and stuff like that. It'll probably be Rule 6 and stuff today. So I have a little
Perfect.
bit of an introduction in
Okay.
that, and then and I will queue you up and stuff in that when I'm ready for you to pull it up, and we'll get rolling on it and stuff there. So
Sounds good. I'm going to rule 4 now. And I've got that spreadsheet open too, so I can take notes for any comments that come up.
okay, great. And then I flagged a couple of spots in Rule 4 that we'll need to flag and stuff and that to take a look at because it's in reference to some things we just missed them, and I was like, oh, so it's just deletions and stuff, so it's not a big deal. But I want to make sure we flag those and stuff and that for our final draft. So
Sounds good. Let me test share my screen real quick and
okay,
tell me if the font size is where you want it or if you want it zoomed in a little more.
that's perfect. Yeah,
Is
that's
that good,
perfect.
or do you want it zoomed in a little more?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Perfect.
Okay,
I
all
will let
right.
it be.
We'll see how many people show up for this one.
Yeah, Amy said it was pretty. Only had Angela and BLM
Stephanie.
gal Steffi.
Yep.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
I'm
So
gonna run
yeah.
to the restroom before we get started on the off chance this takes a while.
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. We're going to give it just a couple of minutes here to get people signed in before we get started. Thanks. All right, I think we'll go ahead and get started to maximize everybody's time here, and we'll go from there, and hopefully we'll get some other people to join in and stuff there. So first of all, thank you for attending the third informal stakeholders meeting for Hard Rock Rules. Some housekeeping, if you have questions or comments, please use the raised hand feature. You can also use the chat feature to post your question. But please refrain from other dialogue to help us keep the record clean. We're recording this for future reference and review as well. So please be sure that you have your email address and that we have your email address. We missed a few last month, so either put it in the comments section here, or if you wish to keep it semi-private, you can send it to the email to Cami, who has posted her email in the chat section there. And that's also the email for the submission of written comments. So last month, we made it through rules 1, 2, and 3. Everyone should have received an updated version of that, and it's on our website as well. I think we addressed everyone's concerns in conversations, as well as made some edits and stuff based on that. And we also want to thank those of you who provided written comments as well. So with that, we will get into rules 4, 5, and 6 today. And if we have time, hopefully we'll just finish off 7 and 8, as there's not a lot in either one of those. Changes in 4 and 5 are, from our perspective, minimal and straightforward. A lot of it has to do with SB 2554. And but that being said, if I'm clipping along and I don't address something that is of interest, or you have a comment on that, please let me know. Again, my apologies for the lack of entertainment value in this process. We understand and stuff in that is kind of gruesome and that, but we do appreciate everyone's efforts. So with that, Lucas, if you will, please pull up rule 4 and we'll dive in. All right. So in rule 4, it's it's about financial warranties and that. And let me pull up my version and stuff here so I can chat a little bit about it and stuff too. So we are going to part of the process and stuff under SB 2554. We changed a little bit of the language. It doesn't amount to much really, but just so that everybody's aware of why. In the statute, it originally had 5% of all proceeds and stuff from a financial warranty going to a special fund. But under today's current accounting processes and requirements, we changed that to where everything goes into a single account, and we pull out our administrative fees. It's never more than 5% in that. We keep that in mind, but it all goes into one pot, so it's easier and stuff to manage from a financial accounting process. So we changed that in statute. And then we'll go down. The other thing is stuff that we did away with was first priorities on liens and salvage credit. These are outdated forms of financial warranty. When we went back and looked at these types of warranties, no one had used them since the late 1980s or early 1990s. And even then, they got out of them rather quickly because of the requirements and stuff that were there. So there's references, any references and stuff to those particular rules and stuff have been stricken. We'll go down to, I think when we roll down here, it's going to be down here quite a ways, and that all the language and stuff for salvage credit, negotiable bonds for the United States, that's all been stricken out of the rules. And that because of the, like I said, the lack of use and stuff by any operators and stuff in that in the past. So with that, Lucas, I think 4.9.1, one of the things and stuff that we have done is focused in on who really has the ability to use the deeds of trust and other security interests and stuff for real estate and personal property. We worked hard with an operator and stuff to get that in place and stuff, and we realized that it's quite cumbersome in that, but we didn't want to totally do away with it. But on the other hand, there needed to be a minimum threshold, if you will, in regards to who really could qualify for this and go through the process in order to get it. So we.
Hey, Russ, J.S. Anderson has a question.
Okay, yep. Go ahead. Go ahead, Mr. Anderson.
Yeah, James Anderson here.
Yeah, all right.
I put my hand up because I think the issue I wanted to raise was passed over because it relates to 4.1.2 and
okay.
And this one, there's a striking of the provisions that are no longer applicable, but it should also have deleted the reference to 4.3.6, which was taken out in the statutory amendments from earlier this year. This had to do with a let's see the screen moved on me here.
Okay, yeah, 4. Okay, and 4.1.2 in parent 5.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, sorry. Yep.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay.
So I think this is probably an oversight in the drafting, but that provision corresponds with a provision that was deleted in the statute this earlier this year, and so that I would think that should be deleted here as well.
Very good. Yeah, thank you for catching that. Like I said, you can't sometimes see the forest through the trees, right? So,
yeah, well, there's a lot of you did a lot of changes in here.
Yeah.
The other one that's similar is 4.15, 4.15. Same issue, really.
Yeah.
It looks like the edit here in 4.2.1 parent 5 is caught on our internal spreadsheet, so it must have just been a transcription error.
Yeah. So,
okay.
Yeah, and that should be strucken out and stuff in that. So.
Yeah, well, it wasn't in what you sent out earlier.
Okay. Yeah.
Stakeholders.
Yeah, and actually, yeah, we were going through it. We found a couple of things and stuff in that. So yeah, so thank you for that. So, and I also have a couple of more down here that I found and stuff when I was reviewing it, and we'll get 4.20 actually. So okay.
Well, thank you sorry for the interruption.
Oh no, that's kind of things and stuff we need and stuff in that, Jim. So we appreciate that in that for sure. So like I said, you get to looking at these and stuff, you get a little cross-eyed. So the more help we can have on that, the better we make things tighter for everybody. So okay, so going down to back to 4.9, and that's through statute and stuff, we put some a minimum threshold. This is something and stuff that the bigger operators and stuff certainly have the capabilities and stuff of working with, but we had a lot of smaller operators that thought this was a great idea, and they just don't have the horsepower nor really the staff and stuff and that to take this on and to keep up with it and stuff. So through discussions and that with stakeholders and stuff when we were working on the bill, this is the kind of the compromise, and this language comes straight out of that out of the bill. So there shouldn't be any issue there. We did strike out 4.93 for fixtures and equipment, and in 4.11, and that the original language is upon commencement of production. We put in the additional information statement and stuff, or when site conditions change it, make it necessary. This is kind of covering a little bit if that at the beginning of a mining project and stuff, there may be unforeseen circumstances. And so so we wanted to make sure and stuff that there was the ability and stuff to have the discussion and stuff on establishing a fund if necessary. Like I said, this is a one-off, but it's kind of, we want to make sure and stuff in that we have the ability to do that, not just when production commences, but sometime during the life of the mine. So we'll move down. Salvage credit was stricken, and all of its references. Government bonds. Our research and stuff show that I'm not sure that anybody ever used this, but it was in there. But we're taking it out as it's just something of stuff that no operator has even shown an interest in. And with all the work and stuff that would be required with that, we're trying to stick to the more standard financial warranties. Did I see impairment? 4.15 has a reference to 4.36 there too. And we'll have to take a look and stuff and make sure that everything's good and stuff there. So releasing warranties for prospecting. This is just some standard language and stuff for tightening up the application, release of warranties and stuff and that for an NOI. And as we go down, one of the things and stuff that we're trying to do throughout the document, as we've noted, is update types of ways and stuff for notifications and other things. So in 4.17, we're inserting e-permitting and also some kind of other certifications and stuff for as designated by the office for signing documents. A lot of our electronic documents and stuff and that just have a affirmation checkbox and stuff now. So that's just part of our modernization process. Also through conversations and stuff with stakeholders, the notices and stuff that are required. We want to make sure that this kind of goes along with construction materials, and that when the notice of completion is done, it not only goes to the affected landowners, and we clarified a little bit, it says and to the counties, but we through conversation, we're going to send that to both the Board of County Commissioners and the county planning both. And that's on our office requirements. That's not on anything on the operator. And then down to probably 4.20, and that this is forfeiture of financial warranties. The one thing and stuff that Lucas and stuff I wanted you to flag is parent 6 is in reference and stuff to liens and stuff for fixtures and equipment. So that needs to be stricken. And then also in parent 8, at the end of the sentence and stuff there where it says reclaimed lands covered by the forfeited warranties should be period. The except that 5% in that whole rest of that should be stricken out in that because we did away with that. So with that, is there any questions, edits, concerns, or whatever with Rule 4 before we go to Rule 5?
Real quick, Russ, what was the first one here in 4.20 that?
For parent 6?
Parent 6.
Yep, that should be stricken.
1 second. 4.20, parent 6. Remove. And 4.6 parent 8 or 4.20 parent 8.
Yes, yeah. So the
Thank you.
last half of that paragraph, yeah. So, all right. All right, not seeing any questions or hands and stuff regarding Rule 4. We'll jump into Rule 5. Part of the interesting thing with prospecting is that in construction materials, it's still all considered confidential. They didn't, the statute hasn't changed and stuff like it did back in 2008. What we're doing here is basically modernization of using the NOI forms and the things and stuff that are involved with e-permitting and stuff there, and clarifying some language and stuff. So we brought some language and stuff actually over from construction materials and stuff in reference to application fees and confidentiality and those kind of things to make sure that it's clear what it, or try to make it clear what's confidential and what's not and stuff in that in the Hard Rock part a little bit more. And then for the most part, we are going through this. It's just updating modernization with mailing address, email addresses, and telephone numbers and those kind of things that are now currently required and stuff on our forms. Going down to all the way down to parent 6 down there. One of the discussions that we've had was regarding things like split estate. So in parent, let's see, this would be 5.12 D6. There you go. In that, what we want to do and stuff there is we have a responsibility and stuff to notify all owners of record, and that includes not only the surface owners, but also mineral rights on affected lands. We have some split estate issues and stuff here in the past. And in our discussions and stuff with BLM, we want to make sure that it's clear that we're not trying to adjudicate or anything like that and stuff. The mineral rights, there's a difference in definition and stuff between the state and federal when it comes to mineral rights. We just want to make sure that everybody that has a right to those minerals and stuff is notified and stuff, and that the conversations there. So, and the other part of this is we've made it some edits and stuff to the completion of activities and commencement of reclamation and stuff for NOIs that they should not exceed 5 years unless otherwise approved by the board or the office. This way, we've had a couple of recent issues and stuff with NOIs and stuff that are 10 years old that have done absolutely nothing. And so we're trying to keep those off the books because a lot of times they're not legitimate to begin with. So, again, we got rid of the, we didn't get rid of the modification, but we moved things around and stuff in that for parent J here. We moved things around so that it's actually up above and stuff now when it comes to modifications and stuff. We moved it up to parent 3 and that. So I think we're all okay there. Going down, one of the other things is proof of notice can be in the form of a return receipt, certified mailing, an e-receipt, date stamp. We clarified that there's a number of ways and stuff. Before it was just certified mailing and that. So we want to make sure that there's different options and stuff out there for applicants and consultants and stuff and that to get that acknowledged and stuff when it comes to the NOI process and stuff there. So I don't think there was a lot of change, just a little bit of editorial stuff in that when we go through the rest of this till we get down to 5.3.4 and have a brief discussion about establishment of monitor wells, and then also the completion reports for work and stuff and that. We've added that language and stuff in there just to kind of help tighten up reporting and other things and stuff that are required under an NOI. Is there any questions there? I don't see anything. So just did away with some language and stuff that just seemed kind of redundant or outdated, and that was also part of our process and stuff here. And then 5.4.4, and that is the establishment of or the conversion of drill holes into monitor wells. This is something and stuff that's becoming more prevalent and stuff, especially with 1113 and other aspects and stuff of hard rock mining. But doing prospecting holes and stuff and then turning them into monitor wells and stuff certainly and stuff is an important aspect that we want to make sure that's codified here in the rules. And so that's what we've tried to do here, and by adding an E and that makes sure that that it's spelled out and stuff there, that once they can establish monitor wells, and if it goes forward where they have a permit issue, application and stuff submitted, and a permit issued, those monitor wells then become part of that permit before the NOI is released and stuff. But then it does need to be incorporated into that permit as part of the permanent process and stuff there. Is there any questions and stuff there? No. Okay. I think we go down to 5.6, the annual report. The only thing and stuff that we've added in here is a little bit of modernization for, signatures and dates or other certification as designated by the office. Here again, that's part of our e-permitting process where somebody will click a box and stuff to attest to it, and that's an acceptable form. A little bit of language change and stuff for drill hole abandonment, just to make it a little bit more clear, if you will. And I think that's just about it for that. So with that, we're getting ready to hit Rule 6. There looks like there's a lot of work and stuff that's here, but I want to explain that before we get into it. For some reason, way back when, a lot of the requirements for a 110 permit were more stringent in a lot of cases than a 112. But over the years and actually decades and stuff, the division and stuff asked a lot of the same questions for a 110 or a 112, either through the review process or somewhere else along the line. So what we did in that is we took a look at the 110 rules. We also took a look at the 112s. And so we moved some things around and stuff so that they're more consistent with each other, so that we're asking the same questions in a 110 in a lot of respects as we are in a 112. This also helps and stuff with the e-permitting process, where the forms and stuff that we've developed are a little bit more consistent and easier to manage and stuff, because the languages and stuff will be requirements and stuff will be pretty much the same. So with that, I don't think let's see, we've done some modernization. I think the first thing and stuff we have is in 6.3.3 in the mining plan. We just did a minor edit here and stuff to add in things and stuff to do with the topsoil additions and stuff, so that if there's going to be salvaged and stockpiled, it needs to be protected and stuff, and that if it's going to be more than 180 days. So the wording before was immediately after salvage. That was kind of vague. But what we are trying to do and stuff is to try to put something a little bit more definitive there, that it should be done in the same season, and if not to exceed 180 days. That way we don't have valuable topsoil and stuff getting blown away and stuff over a year's time or something. So and then on down to parent F. We talk about a lot about the mine benches, impoundments, and those kind of things. In last month's conversations, we had some language and stuff that consultants and operators in that asked us and stuff to take a look at and change, and we made that change and stuff per their request to make it more flexible and stuff for the division and the operators and stuff for blending it into the natural topography. But in this and stuff, we're just asking, we want to know, we need to have we asked the question anyway about the maximum anticipated high wall heights, lengths, and slopes, and those kind of things that are all part of stability analysis as well as reclamation. And as consistency, we just made it, that's just an editorial change in K. And then something that's both in the construction materials and we want it here on the hard rock and stuff. It's a consistency thing is parent P and stuff about where petroleum products and stuff are going to be stored, and what's going to be efforts are going to be taken and stuff to minimize the impacts and stuff of that secondary containment, those kind of things. So I guess we'll go down to 634 parent 5. This is just some additional clarifications and stuff on some of the things that we ask all the time in the application review and stuff as to the type of mulch that's going to be used and rates of application, those kind of things. So we're just trying to get this kind of stuff out front so that it's maybe hopefully trying to reduce down some of our adequacy review responses and questions and stuff that are there. So any questions so far? No, I don't see any. All right. Where am I at here? 634 parent 2. There was a paragraph or a little part of this stuff that said such estimates are not required for activities that are contemplated by the operator and that are outside the scopes of the proposed reclamation plan. We don't have anything that we can think of or have reviewed or anything that has come down to be an activity outside of the proposed reclamation plan. So this seemed kind of redundant and confusing. So we just want to strike that out in that, because everything that goes on within the affected lands and stuff, and that we need to have a discussion and stuff about that. So, and then down here, this is just a discussion about a direct cost in that. And actually, if you had looked at our estimates and that our software in that, there is a little discrepancy and stuff between the language and stuff that's here versus what is reflected and stuff in our CERCES program. So we're just tweaking this and making the adjustment here so that it reflects the stuff what's within our actual CERCES program and the calculations and stuff there and stuff. So it all adds up the same, but we wanted to make sure and stuff that it was clear and stuff that it matches up exactly. So 635. We did a slight tweak and stuff on maps, and that one of the things and stuff that we did is just strike this out and kind of rework it. For one thing, it's vague and stuff as to what's scale no smaller than appropriate. Well, down below and stuff, there's descriptions and stuff of what the actual scale should be, and that. So actually up above in 6.1, 6.2, something like that up there. I don't remember exactly which one, but it spells it out. This was kind of contrary to that. In parent 2, the mining plan map, one of the things and stuff that we've done is added in, latitude and longitude for boundaries, corners, and so forth and so on, to try to and digital files so that we're not just we're coming out of the 19 or 18th, 20th century and stuff that where we're just using paper maps and stuff. We use a lot of digital files and stuff now, so we want to make sure that it's okay and stuff to use that under the rules. And we kind of the rules and regulations and stuff and that about the affected area and the lands and stuff within 200 feet. We have in another area and stuff in that where we discuss the types of structures and owners and stuff and that's actually under Exhibit L, I think, and stuff. So that's where we moved that down to. So we wanted to make sure that it's not just redundant and that. So Yeah, it's down here in E and that. So so we didn't want the repeat and stuff to be there. Coming down here, legal source of right of entry, all of those things and stuff we've covered. One of the things and stuff we're going to be asking for and stuff in the with the list of permanent man-made structures is providing the list of stuff of the names and the types of structures and stuff in that under Exhibit L within 200 feet. Before and stuff, it wasn't clear. You'd have to go hunt them down inside the maps and look for them. Here and stuff, we're going to be just asking for a clear list and stuff. It's there. You have to have the list and stuff to make it for the map. We wanted and stuff under Exhibit L and stuff and that, so it's clear for everybody, the division applicants, and as well as anybody reviewing it and stuff to understand where who, what, and where. And the index, we're going to get into 112s and kind of some of the same language and stuff here. I'm not going to go over all of that, but it's reflecting and stuff the same things and stuff that are required within the 110 applications and stuff when it comes to maps and those kind of things. And I'll go down here. We added in the estimated depth of soil, and that's from what 110s were required. It's also what's in construction materials. So that's in the mining plan. And we also wanted to know, we need to know the dimensions, the disturbances and stuff for pit excavations, benches, and waste rock pile disposal areas, etc. Those are all questions and stuff that we ask anyway. And yeah, these are all just kind of, like I said, moving over consistency issues and stuff between construction materials and hard rock, and then also between the 110s and the 112s. Under parent H, we talk about processing on site, and that processing includes but is not limited to crushing, screening, all the things and stuff there, and describing and stuff what the nature of the processing and facility and chemicals utilized are. These are all questions and stuff that we ask and stuff for DMO purposes, as well as just understanding and stuff exactly what's going on site. And then K and L, these are things and stuff for toxic and acid forming materials, how they're going to be handled, and that's the same thing as stuff with petroleum projects, project products and stuff. So that's pretty straightforward. And I think final grading, like these are a lot of questions that we end up asking in this section and stuff during our normal review, so that we're trying to get that information up front, and that's to help reduce some of our adequacy review responses and stuff, and that to make it clear for applicants and consultants and stuff what we're looking for up front, so that we're hopefully reducing that time down and being a little bit more efficient. I don't think there's anything there. And that, so, and then in Exhibit F 6.4.6, we don't usually have ponds and stuff with hard rock, but this comes in from construction materials. But if there is, we need to know the shape of it and what's going to be addressed and stuff in that, for if it's going to be used for wildlife. And then just a general statement about how you're going to comply with Colorado water laws and regulations, and that governing existing water rights. That's something that's popped up along with everything else that we have in that, but that's how they're going to be addressed. So 6.4.12 reclamation costs. It was a brief paragraph. We've kind of work this out. So here again, part of this and stuff is to ensure that we're getting the information up front and cutting down on the adequacy response issues and stuff, and that as best we can. And then Exhibit M, a lot of that's editorial, and that source of legal right of entry is, again, talking about split estate a little bit. So we want to make sure that both the surface and mineral rights and stuff are noticed on that. And Exhibit O and stuff is part of that. And so, yeah, I think we can go down. We didn't do anything in Exhibit U. So, well, yeah. Exhibit V is for ISL, and we didn't touch anything in there. We get to 6.6, which is the specifics and stuff for the 110R reclamation permit, the new permit, which of course and stuff was part of the a big component and stuff of Senate Bill 2554. What we did here is we took the 110 application and basically dropped it down and modified it rather than having it buried in the mining permit aspects of stuff, because the 110 is for reclamation only. It's not for any other types of mining and stuff. We wanted to segregate that so that it's clear and stuff what's allowed and not allowed and stuff under a 110R. One of the biggest things is that a 110R by statute and rule and stuff is going to be exempt from the DMO regulations, which is a huge lift, regulatory lift and stuff off of the folks and stuff that are interested in this. So we certainly, that's our goal here. The other thing and stuff is this is for all hard rock. It's not for any one particular segment, if you will, and stuff of hard rock. So we're have to be mindful and stuff that it's has to be broad enough in that to address it for kind of all aspects and stuff of activities and stuff that we're anticipating. So the general information on the legal description and location of the map is pretty straightforward. The site description, that's something that somebody coming up, they'll take a look at it. They can give us a general description of the vegetation, maybe any type of soil or anything that's immediate in that. One of the most important things is a characterization of this area immediately around it, so that we can have an idea, our rules and regs and stuff say it has to be equal to or better than the surrounding area. And our environments and stuff in Colorado are so varied that that's really important, because what would be considered adequate and stuff on the western slope at a uranium mine may not be so acceptable and stuff in that at another elevation in another area and stuff of the state. So we want to make sure we have that. We need to be able to identify any structures and stuff that are around there. One of the things and stuff when we were talking to stakeholders and stuff was the impacts to water resources. So we just want to be able to identify streams and ponds, ditches, whatever and stuff, and that within a mile down gradient. And that's just to identify them and stuff so we know it and that. So, and part of the conversations that we had with stakeholders was there was a big push and stuff for all sorts of sampling and other things and stuff, which we pointed out in our deliberations on the bill were part of the cost of stuff that we're making these kind of projects and stuff kind of cost prohibitive. So instead of requiring sampling up front or anything like that or anything, what we're saying in our rules is we're going to identify the areas, and we'll use any kind of information that we have and stuff available for that area and stuff, publications on monitoring data, on flow rates, and water quality conditions. We'll use any of that and stuff as kind of a baseline, if you will, and stuff and that for these projects, because it's scoop and go is probably is the biggest term and stuff that we use during this process. So we wanted to make sure that we didn't set it aside, but we also didn't want to have it prohibitive and stuff and that cost-wise and stuff to go through that. Wildlife statement, another part of this and stuff is any impacts and stuff to wildlife. Some of these areas and stuff may have seasonal restrictions or like grouse or some other kind of restrictions and stuff there. So we need to make sure that we check that box and stuff before we allow that to happen. And a simple consultation and stuff and that with CPW and stuff and that should be able to take care of that. Going on to 6.63. One of the big things and stuff here is that these activities and stuff are short term. So all the activities have to be completed within 3 years from the proposed commencement date to having the reclamation task completed. It may be that we are watching the grass grow or something like that, but this is short term, and that's why actually, if you look, we kind of went over the top of that in Rule 3, that there's the exemption for all other sites and stuff have 5 years, or if the division can extend it. But we did note that for reclamation only, it's a 3-year permit, so they're not subject to it, but they're also not allowed and stuff in that to go beyond this 3-year and that. A lot of this language, like I said, comes straight out of the statute. So, and then the other information that we need and stuff is the description of the legacy waste piles and stuff to be removed, the location of them, and the descriptions and stuff of the major components like roads and access routes, making sure that there's no unnecessary additional disturbances other than removing of these waste piles, and also wanting to make sure and stuff that it's confined just to those waste piles, and that there's no additional mining activities and stuff and that are not allowed and stuff under these. It's going to be these projects and stuff will probably have some people and stuff watching it, so we want to make sure and stuff that we're staying, all our operators and stuff and that are doing this are staying within their box. So another part of this, where did that go down here? I think most of this and stuff is all pretty much straightforward. A statement that no processing is going to occur on site, crushing, washing, leaching, or milling. Our primary concerns there is creating additional toxic waste and stuff, or acid forming materials, or having chemicals and stuff on site and stuff, and that's why we're able to get away from the DMO standards and go from there. So, and then I think the important aspect of stuff here is L, and that, oh no, that's not it. Down here we'll get, there's a spot down here and stuff. One of the important features and stuff here is that they have to identify where this material is going to. It has to be a licensed facility, or and preferably one and stuff that has a DRMS permit on it. I don't know of any sites and stuff that would be acceptable and stuff that didn't have that. But they have to identify where this material is going to, and then that site has to have approval and stuff from us and stuff in order to go forward with that. I'm just going down through here. This is all pretty standard stuff, list of other permits and that, source of legal right of entry. Yeah, these are all just, yeah. Oh, here it is. I'm sorry. And so 6.611. This is my second one of the day, so this has been a little bit long. So, but identifying the receiving facility, that was something really important. We don't want people scooping this up and taking it and setting it down in another place and just letting it sit there and creating an additional environmental impact or impact to the community and stuff there. So that was the important part there. And the other thing and stuff is legacy structures, identifying all of those, if there's head frames or other portals or things and stuff there, we want to make sure and stuff that those are all well documented before we come in and take the waste pile. That way we're ensuring and stuff that those features and stuff aren't disturbed in any way. In that, so and also we want them safeguarded and stuff in the end and stuff as well. So with that, is there any questions and stuff on this part of it? I know I'm kind of blowing through it really, really fast here. No? Okay. I don't know whether that's good or bad. If that's the case, then we're going to just take a quick look at Rule 7 and Rule 8 so that we can get this wrapped up, this part of the process. Under Rule 7, the first part of that is we clearly state that 110R reclamation only permits are not designated mining operations, so they're exempt from Rule 7. And I think we go down. That was about the only that was a declaratory statement there, and we go down. I think all the way down to Rule 8 now, and all we did is a couple of minor modifications for to update how we get emergency notifications, adding in our phone number as well as a second requirement that a telephone. After it's done and stuff like that, there needs to be a follow-up email and stuff submitted to our email address and stuff in that. So we have two different ways for an operator and stuff to notify us in case of an emergency and stuff, because we're monitoring the phone lines and stuff during regular business hours, but emails and stuff like that are monitored and stuff like that almost continuously. So
Hey, Russ,
yes.
you have another question from Mr. Anderson?
Okay, Jim, what you got?
I was thinking back to your introduction, and you said, as I remember, something like you're making, it looks like there's a lot of changes in 112, but really what you're trying to do is have things more uniform between 110, 112, and the construction materials, and those three are going to be pretty much the same. And so I don't know if you meant anything by the phrase pretty much the same. If you had something that came to your mind as to what might be different for 112 as opposed to the other categories, from the changes you made, it might help everybody as they look through these.
I think more is the restructuring a little bit of the required information and just the expansion to make sure that the information and stuff that we're asking for is a little bit more upfront. As we went through that, I was kind of pointed that out. Some of our the questions and stuff that are like in 6.412 and stuff on reclamation costs. These are typical questions and stuff that EPS are asking or have to ask when we're doing our reviews and responses and stuff, our adequacy review. So I think that that's probably some of the bigger things and stuff that we're looking at, and that's on both sides of both construction materials and hard rock. There was actually in the 110s there was questions and stuff that were more detailed and stuff on the reclamation plan than for the 112s. So that's kind of where that difference and stuff is. So we're trying to make sure that they're all pretty much the same and stuff there. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, thanks. I just wanted a little more detail on that. Appreciate it, Russ.
You bet. So with that, I don't know if there's any other questions or concerns here, and that if there are, certainly you can raise them now, or you can send them to us in writing. Let me get back to, I lost that. So Lucas, if we don't have any questions, you can go ahead and pull that down. So next steps. First of all, thanks you everybody for we went through this one a lot quicker than the first couple of rules, but that was definitions and some other things and stuff that we had to get ironed out there. If you have any questions or concerns that pop up and you would like to send them to us and stuff, Kemi has our email address up there. You can certainly reach out to me with an email and have a discussion with us individually. We're open to that. What we're going to try to do is around the 15th of September, we'll be releasing, we'll take any take a look at the concerns and discussion and stuff here. But we'll probably have our draft of the rules and stuff kind of set probably around the 15th, and get that out to everybody that's here. And we'll also post that on our website. In September, our September 24th meeting, what we'll be doing and stuff is we'll be going through just one more time saying, all right, everybody's had a chance to look at this over the last 3 meetings. Is there anything final we need to have a discussion on? Otherwise, we will be talking about the basis and purpose statements and stuff for our rulemaking, as well as starting to iron out a little bit more our process to go into the formal process, and that which what we're looking for is to do Secretary of State publications probably in the November-December timeframe. And then we'll be looking to do rulemaking maybe in January and February, or maybe February and April, or something like that. But we'll get those ironed out after we see a few more of these comments and see where we're at. Once again, thank you. I realize that this is a really exciting topic, and so it's kind of a brain drain and stuff, and that to sit here and listen to it. But we certainly value your comments and your suggestions. And so if you don't have any other questions or comments and stuff right now, I will give you back about an hour worth of your time and stuff today, and we'll get to work and stuff on our final drafts. Any questions or concerns? Okay, with that, I will close the meeting. And once again, thank you for your